All right, guys. So for today, we're going to talk about what supply and demand are. I'm going to play this video, but instead of listening to them talk, I'm going to skip through the pieces so we can really just discuss what I need you to know. All right. So basically, they go into the store and he really wants this video game called Gorilla Battle 3. And if you look at this sign is demonstrating the laws of science, supply and demand, basically. So when the video first came out and was really, really popular, the demand was high for the game. The price was high. The demand was high. The price was high. So it was $49.99. Then about middle ways through of them selling that video game, the demand was going down, so the price came down. Okay. But now the demand has gotten low. So the price has gotten low. Okay. So the higher the demand of something, the higher the supply needs to be, the higher the price is going to be. The lower the demand, the lower the supply needs to be, and the lower the cost it will be. So let's click through. All right, so you need to understand the differences in goods and services. So goods are things that you buy, like books, tennis rackets, bananas, food, cars, houses. Those are all goods because you're able to purchase those things and you own them. Okay, services are going to be things that someone does for you. So a car wash, a tennis teacher, a house cleaner. All of those are services. You're not buying something that you actually will own, but you're paying someone to do a service for you. Like when you go to the doctor, you're paying for the service of the doctor to see you when you're sick. Okay. All right. And we already learned what the producer and the consumer are. This is just reviewing it. A consumer is the person who's buying the things, and the producer is the person who is making or selling those things. Supply is the amount of things that are being created for the demand. So here in just a second, we're going to see a graph. When supply and demand meet at an equal part, um, it's basically like a clear-cut situation. Everybody's happy on both ends because nobody made more things than they needed, and everybody was able to sell everything they needed, so they all got their money. Everybody on both ends got their money. But if this demand changes and it goes higher than the amount of the supply is, that's where you start running into some issues. So let's see if I can find the slide that shows you where the demand changes. All right. Okay, so this is your equilibrium point when they meet together and everybody is happy on both sides because the people who were selling it made their money and the people who are making it made their money. But let's look at what happens when the demand of the product changes. Do you see how the demand line moved from here to here? So now the amount supplied has changed and there's not enough being supplied at this point. So the suppliers that are creating this product are going to have to meet the higher demand and they're going to have to start making things. But the higher the demand is, the more it's going to cost. So think about it like a brand new iPhone. When those brand new iPhones come out, everybody wants it. Everybody wants to go buy that brand new iPhone, whether they need it or not. Okay. So if you go to the store to buy that brand new iPhone and you stand outside the store all night waiting for them to open up to get to that phone, the demand is really high at that point. So the cost of that phone is going to be super high. But if you wait a year, 2 years, 3 years to get that phone, the cost goes down because the demand for that phone has gone down. So you're not going to pay as much for that phone if you can wait a few years to get there. And I think that is the gist of what I wanted to cover with the video. So these are your reading passages. You're going to read one that says supply and demand and one that says lemonade stand. And make sure you read them because you're going to need to have read them for your quiz tomorrow. And remember, if you have any questions, contact